Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all so much for stopping by the live stream again. Really appreciate it. We did make it back. Thank y'all for all your well wishes, man, and safe travels and all that. I always tell people have a comfortable trip because, they say, yeah, have a safe trip. I don't fly the plane, okay? But I know what y'all saying. It's just, I don't want to jinx anybody. I really do want them to have a comfortable trip. Shout out to the NTZ crew. What's up, Jacob Tanjay? Thank y'all. It was kind of difficult, man, having a live stream over in Vietnam. My second Airbnb, the Wi-Fi just wasn't there, man. The first one, I was wishing we could have stayed there for the whole 2 weeks. It was really nice. I'll talk a little bit about that. Shout out to all my fourth quarter members. What's up, Sheldon? What's up, Cisco? I see y'all got back. And that's a long trip. And you talk about, I'm going to talk about that, man, because anybody that lives in these major cities over here, you got it made. Okay, I'm sorry. If we just lived in Manila, hell, we'd have been over with. But we fly into Manila, then you got to fly into Bacala, then we got to take a 2-hour bus ride through the mountains. It was a long day yesterday. But thank y'all for y'all support. I really appreciate it. What's up, Kamal? See Roger over here. Raymond, Jet Retada. All my old heads, that's Q. He said, wherever you are, enjoy yourself and make the best of it. Welcome back to the Philippines. Hey, thanks, man. That's really what I say. Wherever I am is the best place. I got my water today. Y'all can't see this, but I had to get me a Vietnam mug. All my new viewers and subscribers watching today, welcome. And then everybody catching this on replay. The peso is 58.38. It was 58.83 yesterday. It's going to go up because of the war situation. And we're not going to talk about that, guys. But y'all know I'm anti-war. We have nothing against Iran, man. It's the same stuff they were talking about when they were talking about Iraq. And now, the first 4 people they identified, they come from a unit that's based in Kentucky, my home state, man. And I just feel some kind of way about it, man. These are young people. They have their whole lives ahead of them, man. Now it's gone. Decisions made by these old, rich, elite guys, man. We don't benefit, man, from this war, guys. I'm sorry, but that's all I'm going to say about that. But the peso will go up. We always have a topic. Today's topic is Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines. Does it get any better, man? We don't have to compare these places, man. We can have it all. But y'all know me. I like to talk about videos I've done before, current events. The American stabs his Filipino wife today. Walk away, man. Learn to walk away. My mother told me something a long time ago. It's true. Easy come, easy go. These relationships start out so easy that you ought to know, man, something's not right. It's too easy. But when you try to tell you guys that, you're not listening. Y'all's pants are on fire. You're so desperate. You're so, I can't put my hand on it, my finger on it. But something's not right, man. Something's not right. He said that the bus ride through the mountains is scary, huh? Man, you took the words out of my mouth. I'm going to tell you something. Me in Maryland, it's just our anxiety. It's just our minds. We're reluctant to get on a plane. We got the nerve to be afraid of flying in a plane. It's comfortable, as quiet, as smooth as it is. We were more afraid on that damn bus yesterday, coming through the mountains. What time's the travels? What's up, man? He said all 3 places are great in their own way. They are. But we always want to make it seem like I got the best decision. Just like Q said, wherever I am, if I'm living and breathing it's the best place. But I'm from the school of you can have it all. And people are so miserable, man. The guy on my video, I'm trying to think which one it was. I think finally made it to Vietnam or whatever it was. He just wouldn't let it go. Oh, Vietnam is cracking down on the 90-day visa. No, they're not. No, they're not. You're lying. Don't put that information out there. I'm always going to push back against misinformation. Okay? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. You guys can't enjoy yourself. You don't know how to sit back and relax. He's not even in Vietnam. He's an armchair bro. They say, well, they were talking, when I talked about Thailand, well, Thailand and Vietnam are not the same. Thailand has all those other retirement visas, okay? All those different options. Vietnam doesn't. All those foreigners you see living in Vietnam, except for a tiny fraction on a tourist visa, dude, shut the fuck up and mind your own business. And just enjoy the place. Hey, Laura, what's up? He says, Philippines relies heavily on Middle Eastern countries for its raw crude oil. I estimate the Filipino peso to top off at 61 by May. Yeah, if this thing keeps going, everybody's going to pay a high price for fuel. They've already shut off the Strait of Hormuz. Iran says anybody comes through there, we blowing you up. You know, it's just all the rhetoric, all the propaganda of war. These mainstream media, they love war because now it seems like they're important. Okay? They know good and well they hate Trump, but now they ain't going to do nothing but praise him because they love war. It gives them so much content. Their ratings are going to skyrocket, guys. We know this already. I don't look at that stuff. Iran ain't no threat to America. I don't care what you say. What's up, Michael Alexander? He said, out of the three, how would you rank them? 1, 1, and 1. You can't lose. Okay, I've been to all three. Okay, Beach Road made me fall in love with Patio. I could move there today and not skip a beat. District 1 or Quan 1 in Ho Chi Minh City, I could move there today and never skip a beat. The Philippines has been so good to me, man, over these last 7 years. Going on 8, I would never have any negative remarks or anything to say about this country because I see it for what it is. I'm not in their politics and all of that stuff. I'm not responsible for the poverty and all that stuff, man. I just enjoy the great things about the country, man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, he said gas is already going up 10 cents per gallon because of the president of peace. But you know, I was watching something, man, and you know, I like these independent news people, man. They were just talking about, you know, Trump really is anti-war. But when Israel has something on you, they're blackmailing Trump just like they blackmailed Clinton. Now all of a sudden, he don't have a problem. It's not really Trump. It's the tail wagging the dog, man. We're over there fighting for Israel. We don't have any, you know, skins in the game with Iran. Iran don't pose a threat to us. It's all going to be propaganda and lies from now on. I don't believe nothing any of them says. I'm sorry, I don't. You know, and that's the thing. I got tired of being a slave. I felt like a slave in America. You know, if you think for yourself or you think outside the box, people don't like you, man. So people are going along with this stuff. No, man, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go along with it anymore. Hey, what's up, Coach Cheese? Long time, man. I hope you're not working those 2 jobs. Because that hamster wheel will grind your butt up. But let's get back to this guy who stabbed his Filipino wife. Look, guys, easy come, easy go. I've told you for 6 years, these relationships are not like the ones at home. Totally different. We don't know the culture. We don't know what these women are capable of. We don't own them. Okay, we come over here like we own the women, and it's your fault. You invest all your time, all your money, all your energy into these relationships. You don't even know the woman. And then when things don't go the way you want, you crash out. And Q was on here talking in the comments, talking about he was a white guy, not a black guy, but it doesn't matter. We're grown from the same soil over there in America. I'm sorry. Okay? And the same things that made him crash out makes the white guys crash out. And anybody that was born and raised in America. That's our culture. We got to take responsibility for that. I told y'all all the time. If a woman's going to leave me, okay, I'd rather be in the Philippines. Because I know I can go out and get another one. Why? I don't know. It just is. That's just the facts. Yeah, it's going to hurt. But I'm a man. I can deal with it. I'm not going to give up my freedom. Now what, dude? Okay, they got his name. I put the link in there. They got his name and everything. I refuse to say it. Go read that article for yourself. Now you think you've won? Whoever the woman was dealing with or was liking or whatever, now he's free to go with her. He's going to fuck her with the stab wounds and everything. He don't care. Y'all crazy, man. But y'all think these relationships are the same. They not. You see what happened to me, man. I'm hurt. One of the closest friends of me over here, his ornery ass girlfriend, I don't know her. Merlin don't know her. Okay, it's the first time we ever met this woman. Whatever they going through, that's on them. But bitch, don't be screenshotting nothing, showing it to my woman. I can walk away from it though. I'm not going to resort to violence, but that's the kind of stuff that will get you hurt, lady. You're going to try to destroy what it took me 7 years to build because you miserable. And you sitting there smiling in my face. I done paid for lunch. Not just any lunch. That food was expensive as hell. It was good. But you sitting there smiling in my face the whole time. I know what goes on. Okay? But it made me so mad, man. I can't wrap my mind around it. I'm like, why would you do that? Of course, he's embarrassed, so he says, oh, she don't have access to my phone. She said you was drunk. I know she does because she told Marilyn stuff that only me and you talked about. Okay? Hey, thanks for the super chat, Q. He says, I'm not justifying the stabbing, but it'd be hard to think rational when your wife cheats. And once you're emotionally and financially involved, you're cooked. I mean, I get it. It's a crime of passion. It's not nothing new. But, man, violence is never the answer. Now look, Q. Okay, now look. He's not going to have her. And the thing is, you don't own her. It's just your time. But violence is never the answer. Okay. Yes, it's just a home wreck. It's like, but I know her history. I know that she's not right up here. But it just came out of the blue. Because they went out to try to get some coconut water is what they said. Well, when Marilyn came back, Marilyn's acting all different. Oh, I'm getting a job. I'm doing this and that. I knew right away. I said, the stupid bitch that said something to Marilyn. Because she's comfortable enough to do that. Thinking, I'm not going to do anything to her. It just hurt me, man. I'm floored, man. I just can't believe it. Like, lady, what did I do to you? I don't even know you. Marilyn doesn't know you. You rotten, you ornery, you low down. And you lucky, boy, that I'm the person I am. Hey, what's up, TJ? I'm still trying to catch up with the group chat. This happened today. No, it happened yesterday when the guy, I don't know the news cycle. It had 16 hours ago, so maybe it happened yesterday or, what's today? Tuesday night or something. Yeah, he stabbed a woman. He He's accusing her of cheating. And he wants to go through her phone, and she didn't want to give him the phone. So he snapped, stabbing the woman in the face. He's trying to kill this woman. Okay? And stabbing her in the torso. No, he didn't just made her. They were married already. Wait. Let me get to this. No, they were married. But that don't mean anything. I'm saying we just met the woman at the lunch. I've been knowing the guy. He's one of the closest guys to me. That's why I feel like I can vent to him. We were just venting, just having a conversation. But she was screenshotting all this stuff. So I guess she figured, well, now that Marilyn's here, I've got some screenshots of her and Calvin. So whoever he deals with and's been talking to, she's got screenshots of. Videos and everything. So, you know, it's just when you deal with young women like that, you're going to have to put up with stuff like that. I mean, but don't be trying to wreck my marriage. You know, in my relationship, I got a good relationship. That's what pissed me off. I'm like, lady, you trying to destroy my relationship for what? In 5 minutes, what it took me 7 years to establish. You got me fucked up for real. You know, you don't know me. You don't know what I'm capable of doing, but they feel so comfortable that they can do anything to you with no recourse. Okay? And this is why I tell you guys, you got to take it slow. You don't know these women, man. The minute we get off the bus, out of plane, we jumping in bed with them, marrying them. Okay? Now, she didn't send that to Marilyn. They was together. Marilyn don't know that woman from Adam. That's the first time she ever saw Marilyn. She didn't send it to her. She showed it to her. Right there. Okay? While we're together. You know, you smiling in my face. Ooh, it's so, oh man, y'all just don't know how mad I am about that. Okay? So no, she didn't. Yeah, they trying to sabotage because misery loves company. Their relationship is totally different from the relationship me and Merlin got. All of our relationships are different. You know, I'm a real man. I'm doing what men do. We got a home. We got a family. I'm anchored here. This ain't no, you know, I'm retired. You know, my friend he's still young. He's still trying to achieve the American dream. Okay, I'm sorry. You don't know, boy. Woo-wee. He said, definitely doesn't sound like a provincial Philippine. Must be from the city. Bullshit. Province all the way. But yeah, guys, we got to get to know these women. We got to slow down a little bit. See, culture is everything. Culture is everything. I got it right here. You know, a lot of the women that we're dealing with, that you're dealing with, are suffering from some type of PTSD from stifling poverty. I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm telling you that affects people. Not just here, but everywhere. You don't know what state of mind they're in when you're dealing with them. All y'all want to do is fuck somebody. You know, I done made all the mistakes. You don't have to make them. But y'all don't want to listen. It drives the bone. That's why these women control your ass. You know, then you want to snap. He said he spends a lot of money on her check just to have us found him the analog way. Yeah, you know, but like I said, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for that kind of stuff. What do you mean? I didn't know until, okay, the next day, because Merlin was acting funny the whole time. And then finally, when we fly back to Bacolod and we're in the Taxi, I just got enough. I'm like, look, what's going on with you? Why you acting this way? And she tell me, we're already in Bacala. But I got a good woman, a rational thinking woman. She can play that tape all the way through. And she'll listen when I talk to her. I said, look, I'm venting. You never supposed to saw that conversation. It's a private conversation between me and my friend. You know, it's like, just imagine you never was supposed to see that. This is a rotten ass woman who would even do that. What is she trying to benefit? How is she going to benefit at all from showing you that? Not at all. She's trying to destroy something. Okay? The good thing that we've got. And if you want to let her destroy it, okay, go ahead. Good luck trying to find another Sunshine Shoulders, because some of the women over here think it's that easy. All I got to do is replace him. Okay? And you're going to end up in the hospital like that woman in Supply City. Because you don't know, it's a cesspool that you women are dealing with, okay? We know about what we're going to get. Yeah, you hear some horror stories, but we know about what we're going to get. We're all going into the same pool. They've got a cesspool. You don't know what you're going to pull out of there. Because everybody's got the memo. 18 to 80 blind crippled are crazy. And you see it. Certainly in Manila, certainly in Cebu, even in Saigon. Guys talking about it. Oh, they know age gap relationships in Vietnam. Bullshit, man. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I mean, before I even heard that was such a thing, I saw age gap relationships. And I would rather listen to somebody like Stephen and Bea, who are level-minded people. They got it together. They could live anywhere they want. Than some armchair bro shouting from the rooftops in the comments. Stephen and Bea could live anywhere they want. They said when they came to Vietnam, it blew them away. They were headed to Bangkok. I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to listen to KT, the story of KT, who's been there 6 years. I'm going to listen to my buddy Achilles, who's been there going on 2 years. I'm not going to listen to some stranger out there that I don't know talking about Ho Chi Minh City's a dump. You gotta be kidding me. You guys are miserable. No way you call that place a dump. I've been to Bangkok. Okay, if you think that's heaven, well, that's heaven too then. Because that's right on the hills. You saw that walking street. I tried to show y'all that. Y'all don't watch stuff like that because y'all want to stay in the negative. I showed you walking street, only a smidgen of it, because I didn't have my camera. I had my phone. If I'd had that camera, man, that's a walking street where you can take your woman. It's a party. It just ain't a bunch of old, dirty-ass women trying to sell some ass. Okay? That's a party, man, and it's a stretch. Okay? Restaurants. Hey, Rashad, thanks for that super chat. He said, my guy CGA over there. You know it's the DR is number one, but the fields of paradise if a man act right. We lose our minds and they use it as leverage. Well, they already know. They know more about us than we know about them. Because they listen, Rashad. They've got a support group. They don't meet strangers. That's why that woman felt comfortable enough to confront Marilyn with that stuff. Only after meeting her for maybe 30 minutes. But we don't listen. All right, such y'all don't know nothing. Okay? I'm sorry. I know how to handle myself. Thanks for the information, but no thanks. And we end up getting fucked over. He said, Ho Chi Minh City is an awesome place. Man, trust me, it is. Bangkok is an awesome place. Manila. The Philippines, they all have their own feel. You know, when I got back to the Philippines, I knew that I wasn't in Vietnam anymore. And that's what I want. I want something different. I don't want the same thing everywhere I go. I'm trying to absorb the culture. When I was in Vietnam, it was so interesting. Okay, let me read this. I'm telling you, coming right out of my mind. He said, Vietnam looks like a cool place. I'm excited to go and check it out. It was so interesting. I wasn't even trying to vlog for real, but I owe it to my viewers and subscribers and my supporters. I was like, man, this is just the break I needed. It's so calm and so cool and collected over there, and so interesting that I wasn't even worried about making videos. I went the whole 2 weeks, I never talked about the Philippines. You know, when I went to that museum, guys, and you got to go to the museum, and you'll see why I'm anti-war. And they're doing the shit right now. All you're going to get, especially if you're watching the mainstream media, is just the surface stuff. You go into that museum, they give you the nitty-gritty of war. In one picture, man, they've got a U.S. Army guy. He's carrying the spinal cord of a Vietnamese. It's only the spinal cord in the man's head. I don't know what happened. Did he blow up or whatever? But the guy's got it in his hand, and he's got this, you can tell he done went crazy over there because he's got this grin on his face. And, the post-traumatic stress that must happen to soldiers on the front line over there. But that's the kind of stuff they showing you in that museum. I've got it, but I'm going to put it on my Patreon. I wouldn't dare try to put it on YouTube. They might ban my channel. It's some nasty stuff, guys. War is not pretty. It's not clean. You see where the school got bombed over in Iran, 150-something schoolgirls were killed. Well, see, if they actually showed you the nitty-gritty, like eventually they will, but not in America, they're going to show you in Iran, you're probably going to see stuff like that. And the Agent Orange effects that are still affecting people to this day. War is a nasty thing, man. All that old foolishness, all that old rhetoric, man, I don't want to hear it. Hey, what's up, Steven? He said, good morning, Cal. We missing you over here, brother. See, this is who I'm talking about. Now, when they talk about Vietnam, you listen to them. You don't listen to some guy in the fucking comments, some stranger. They made our trip. They made the whole difference in our trip. I had 3 people over there. Achilles, KT of the story of KT, and Stephen and Bea. But it was really Stephen and Bea that took us around to the different spots. But Achilles, he walked us around and kind of gave us his view too. But these are the people you listen to. When you get to sit down in the coffee spots and the nice restaurants where you're not going to spend an arm and leg, but you're getting 5-star Michelin ratings. Because there's a lot of them over there. When you hear a Filipina, Maryland, say that she misses the food over there, that means the food is good because they love their food here. But the food over there is on a whole other level, man. It really is. It's lighter. I don't eat as much over there. And then we're we working out every day. Maryland took me to the gym every day. That's a whole different story. The equipment over there is first class. I'm sorry. But it is. But thank y'all, man. I really appreciate it. And because they went out of their way, man. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have went on that tour bus. They knew exactly where to get it. We're looking around online trying to buy tickets and stuff, which we'd have got our heads busted. When they took us right where they start, you go there, you get in line, you buy the ticket's only 145,000 dong, and Q was saying, well, how can you configure that, Cal? It seems so difficult. No, you just go by 145, Q. Don't forget the 1,000. Hey, excuse me, Sheldon, thanks for that super chat. He said, Unc, I'm seriously considering dating a Filipino that's close to my age. Peace and blessings to the whole Sunshine Shows community. Well, you already know already. You've dealt with the younger ones. You're just going to put up with some bullshit. Yeah, she's going to be young. She's going to be attractive, but you're going to put up with a lot of bullshit like that. My friend, I really feel for him. He better watch his back because this woman's not in her right mind. I believe she's going to try to blackmail him some kind of way. You know, he treats her so well. Showed her a life he never would have had. I mean, his words, he was like, you know, I'm going to send her back to the jungle. That's what he said because he knows where she comes from, man. And for her to do that like that, he's embarrassed. I would be horrified if Merlin did something like that to a friend of mine. Okay, that she had never met before. But Merlin would never do that. Merlin's too smart, man. She's too intelligent. She's a woman. She ain't gonna do nothing stupid like that. It makes me mad that she was subjected to that. She ambushed Merlin. What Merlin don't know won't hurt her, man. Kind of stuff. I'm just venting. I ain't going nowhere. I'm happy as I've ever been. Okay, I'm sorry, but I am. Ain't no tackhead gonna destroy that. He said, yo, I told you that you were gonna love it over there, brother. I'm glad you had a great time. We really did. I mean, I can measure it just by Merlin. She didn't want to come back. So if you don't believe me, talk to her. He said, yeah, the War Museum changes your life. We visited in 2023 and I'm still impacted. The video we did on that visit is one that I consider my finest. Until you go over there, okay, you won't understand what we're talking about. You're still going to look at war from a headline perspective, man. That's why I respect the guys in the military. See, I was in the Navy. I was on an aircraft carrier miles out to sea. Our planes and our pilots did most of the damage. But I got friends who actually fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. And even my brother fought in Vietnam, man. You know, you got to tip your hat to guys. I don't know how they do it. You're talking about bravery, but they'll tell you the shit they've seen. But that museum's got little babies because everybody is a victim of war. They got pictures of little babies in there, man, blown to bits and dead and, just disfigured from the Agent Orange and stuff. I'm not going to tell you. Go see it yourself. I bet you won't be glorifying war and, oh, look at us and all that. Cisco said, man, I gained weight somehow in the Philippines, but Jen lost. Not we're both, now, what? Not we're both gaining back. Oh, now we're both gaining back here in the States. Is that what you're saying? But see, one thing I can tell you about the food in Vietnam, every meal's got vegetables, got some type of green vegetables. It's colorful. See, one thing people tell you about a lot of meals over here, and I told Merlin, you put some damn green and some color in my meals. It's just rice and the meat. I'm talking about when you eat at home. I'm going to put me some mixed vegetables or something in there. What's up, Ron? He said the food's totally different over in Vietnam. Wish y'all get to go back soon. Oh, we are. He said, well, if you're 60, you don't want to date a 60-year-old. Right. But I think that relationships could be a whole lot better over here if we just took time to get to know the women, man. These relationships develop so fast. It's a wonder that we stay together as long as we do. That's because they're yes relationships. She's saying yes to all of your requests, and you're saying yes to all of hers. Otherwise, no way they would last. I mean, we're jumping in bed the very first night, acting like we've been together for 20 years. Okay, and then when the woman finally does, balk, you can't handle it. You snap. You go crazy and try to kill the woman. He said, some people probably think about the Vietnam they learned in school. The story of KT said, man, just in the from the 6 years I've been here, Cal, you wouldn't believe it. Look, guys, I'm telling y'all like I told you on the video. When I got to Vietnam and we woke up the next morning, me and Marilyn walking around, it was electric. I could feel something, and and I thought, man, this place is unbelievable, right? But KC said it in the video that where I interviewed him. He said, Calvin, this is the golden age in Vietnam right now, and they know it. Vietnam is on the way up like this. This is what he said. He said just a few years ago, it's not the same as it was now. It is the golden age over there, guys. They're far ahead of the United States, believe it or not, because we've stayed stuck. China hasn't had a war since 1979. Vietnam hasn't had a war since 1979. Guess what? They was fighting each other. That's why they can invest money in their infrastructure, in their people. And that's why when you go over there, you will see how far ahead they are with us. They're getting ready to ban all gas-powered vehicles. We're stuck in the coal days. You got Trump talking about bringing back the coal. Dude, you're not going to do that. He's signing bills to discourage the electronic vehicles over there. Man, China and all these places, man, they zoom past America because we're spending our money on these wars, man, that don't mean anything to us. Man, it's time we wake up, man. But y'all slaves over there. Y'all believe anything people tell you. It's bullshit. They lying to y'all. China's way ahead of America. America ain't the greatest country in the world no more. Maybe it used to be. He says, my dad told me you keep messing with them young kittens. They bite after a while. Leave them young ones alone. Well, I can guarantee you that if you deal with a young one over here, you're going to put up with some stuff. She's going to be videotaping shit you ain't going to know. Okay? She got something, in her pocket that she's going to use with your ass. Well, certainly trying to cross the street. But it's steadily moving, though. See, it's designed differently than Manila. See, Manila was designed, Ho Chi Minh City's designed for 14 million people. Not Manila. Manila's only designed to hold like 1 million people. I'm just telling you, that's why you get a lot of the problems that you have in Manila. It's too many people there. So you got the flooding because of the trash. You got the traffic jams. I mean, I wouldn't even consider it a traffic jam. I don't know what you would call it. It's to the point where you can't even move over there. But crossing the street, you better be careful. Always cross at the light in Vietnam. Certainly if they've got the green man and red. Otherwise, man, it's like a jungle trying to get across the street. He said, my pops fought in Vietnam. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he probably told you some stories. But that museum lays it out, okay? He said, that war museum was something else. Knowing the history of Vietnam almost made me feel like I was there. It kind of makes you feel embarrassed, man. You're in Vietnam. Because I don't think America has a Vietnam museum. I know we've got a wall where we're recognizing the men and women who lost their lives over there. Brave men and women, by the way. Okay? But we don't have a museum like that. We left a lot of shit over there. They got weapons. They got everything over there on display. Actual weapons. Man, you should see some of them bullets they were using. I got it on video. I just haven't uploaded it yet. You're going to be like, man, people are getting shot with that? No wonder why they get cut in half. Man, these bullets will cut your ass in half. They're this damn big and this damn round. I'm telling you guys. What's up, man? He said, what's the attitude of the locals? Well, see, very few of them, they take for granted that you're American. Certainly when you're black, because they try to speak English. But I almost made the mistake. I was going down to the store to get a little thing of laundry detergent, and I had on I got some swim shorts that I got a long time ago from Walmart, and it's the American flag. And right when I was getting ready to open the door, I looked down and said, I think that's a bad idea, because I really don't know, Q. So I took them off. But the people are nice there. They've moved on. If you go over there, you'll see that they've moved on. We're stuck. We're stuck, man. We've got a sick culture, man. Look at all they haven't had a war in 47 years. Neither has China. Look at all the wars and interventions and everything we've had. Conflicts and everything in 47 years. All that money should be going into our infrastructure, into our people. You got people starving in America. They can't, Tupac said it back in the 90s. You can't find money for the poor, but you can find money for war. Okay, money that we got to borrow, by the way. And y'all believe all that stuff. Imagine how many skirmishes and stuff we're invading countries. Grenada, Venezuela, and all of this stuff, guys. Billions and trillions of dollars that's not going into our infrastructure. It's not America first, man. And it doesn't matter who's in office, okay? Bullshit. I left, man, because I'm going to speak my man. I'm going to think for myself, and y'all push back on that. Y'all a bunch of slaves over there. You know that shit ain't right, man. You know we fighting that war for Israel? Israel said it. Listen to Netanyahu himself. Even that damn Marco Rubio fucked up and let it come out of his mouth. America, Iran don't pose America no threat. But here we are dying over there. Not one Israeli soldier's died yet, but 6 Americans have died so far. Bullshit, man. I'm going to say it. Fuck that. Our roads is crumbling. Bridge is crumbling over there. And y'all listening to them old bastards over there. All they doing is lying in their pockets. All of them. Them's the only one that benefit from them wars. But y'all afraid to say it. He said, I remember right before you left, I said to be sure to go to the War Museum. Man, that food over there is so good, brother. We're going over there at the end of the month. It will be Chang's first time. She's going to love it. Chang's an intellectual. She'll be able to appreciate it. Because, Filipinos, they love the Philippines, man. And when you take, and I'm thinking, when we get over there, Maryland's going to be comparing everything. And it's not the Philippines. She never did that. She was blown away by that place. That gym just blew her away. I actually did. No, I didn't, because he says, I noticed you didn't cover the story about the black American arrested for running a sex cam business in a Cebu. There's so many stories like that. Okay, Vanilla Gorilla. And I can't cover everything. I'm not a journalist. Okay, but when somebody stabs their Filipino wife, which, by the way, he was a black man. That's why I put the link in there. You can see it doesn't matter if it's black or white. We're grown from the same culture. Okay? So whatever you're trying to get at, okay, I'm sorry, it doesn't affect me. It shows how narrow-minded you are. Americans are the only ones stuck in that stupid racial stuff. That's another reason I left. So keep all that racial stuff with you, okay? There's one thing I noticed over there in Vietnam, and KT verified it. He said, Cal, I ain't gonna lie to you. These people aren't racist over here. He says, they're xenophobic. They're not used to seeing us, but racist, no, they got more important things to worry about. They know, like you don't, like your stupid ass don't know, that the color of your skin don't mean a goddamn thing. So fuck you with all that racist stuff. I'm tired of that. Now, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Thinking white people are better, black people are better, Asians this and Asians that. America's the only one on that bullshit. We trying to live our best life. Life is short to be worried about that rhetoric. It's all lies anyway. I'll run circles around you doing anything, Mr. White Man. Now, I said this to Merlin. He says, if you notice, many countries don't mess with Vietnam war-wise. You know why? Because they know Vietnam is going to fight to the last man. They some bad mamma jammas over there. They kicked the French's ass, then they kicked America's ass. People ain't going to fuck with Vietnam. If you think I'm lying, man, me and Merlin, we were in the Grab going, I don't know where we were going, to the food court or whatever. And I was saying, I feel safe over here because I know there ain't going to be no war over here. They ain't going to fuck with Vietnam. Okay? If you want to know the difference between Vietnam and the Philippines, Vietnam has a fighting army, a real fighting army. They take up for themselves. They ain't got no China over here, America over here. No, they'll fight your ass. Okay? He said, not Thailand, not Cambodia, not the United States. Okay? Because they're going to fight. They're going to fight. Okay? That old bullying shit ain't going to work. What's up, Gerald? He said, what's up, Cal? Out of the 4 places I visited in Asia, Bangkok, Thailand was my favorite, and Ho Chi Minh City was my second favorite, and Manila, Philippines was my third. I like them all, man. I really ain't got a favorite. I mean, it just so happened I came to the Philippines first, and I loved it here, man. Wherever I am, Gerald, if I'm living and breathing, it's the best place. And I think if we look at it like that, but we're always going to go, that's just our culture as Americans. I'm better than you. Look, I'm the Dallas Cowboys, you're Washington Redskins. It's always going to be, I got the best. We're always going to be competing and fighting instead of enjoying your life. When my brother died, man, I'm going to tell you something. It woke me up again about life and how quick it goes by, and you're not guaranteed tomorrow because you'll forget until it happens again. Yeah, big that converts to trillions, okay? Because we're borrowing money. These wars are not funded. You got to borrow the money. JBZZL. It's not like Social Security and all these things that they try to tell you is the problem over there. They try to tell you all the poor people and the immigrants is the problem. No, it's those rich men over there, the elites. They're the problem, but they distract you. Whatever happened to the Epstein files? No, I'm not receiving any kind of military benefits, John. And I'm not saying that. I don't have to justify anything that America does. It's free speech, man. You ain't nothing but a slave when you think like that. I didn't say I'm not grateful for what I've worked for and what I've earned. But if I don't agree with something, I'm not just gonna go along to get along like you. You guys are cowards. You can. He said, no other country in the world can you walk in a poor man and leave a rich man. That's because you're psyched up. Fool, I saw Lamborghinis over in Vietnam. And everything else you see in America. You guys are, man, I'm going to tell you, Americans, man, we're so narrow-minded. And let me remind you, John, for the 100th time, that I earned every goddamn thing I got from America. America ain't gave me nothing. And I had nothing to do with being born in America. I serve my country. I obey the law. I pay my taxes. I vote. But I'm like that guy on, he said, a black man don't owe America shit but an ass whooping. You kiss my ass coming on here with that stuff. You not on those other channels. Give a fuck what you think. Like I should be so, no man in America can do anything. That's a slave mentality. Fuck out my channel with that old antiquated thinking. That's why we can't get nowhere. You're going to blame me. Yeah, he's crazy. Think about that. Imagine believing hard work is what gets you rich. These people are programmed. Okay? They're programmed. They can't think for themselves. You ain't going to be on my channel talking that bullshit. I want to hear that. All I owe America is an ass whooping. Now, fuck you thought. I'm supposed to agree with all that shit. And y'all supposed to be Christians over there. I read somewhere else, they said, be wary of Christians who are only looking for enemies to destroy rather than their neighbors to love. See, you guys, man, y'all not Christians for real. Hey, what's up? Off-grid wealth management said, keep up the good work, Cal. I'm proud to be colorblind for many years now, and I hate the way America treats us. Don't let those knuckleheads wind you up. Keep up the good fight. I'll see you. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Because you can think for yourself. You know, they keep us fighting amongst each other. Meanwhile, they stealing us blind. He said, yeah, we narrow-minded. This guy asked me where I got my limited edition shoes. I said the Philippines. He instantly thought they were knockoffs. I'm like, dude, the shoe brand doesn't only run in America. Yeah. But on knockoffs, man, the quality of knockoffs in Vietnam will knock your head off. You wouldn't believe it. I've got some footage. I'm going to upload it as a short. I'm not going to do it as a video. Where Stephen and Bear took us to the underground. They got an underground mall. And the Jordans in there. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. I got a friend, Coach Jay. He's over there now. He's a basketball coach. He bought 2 pair for friends of his in the States. He said, Cal, they look real. I said, they probably are real. They make them over there in China. But I got some footage. I wanted to see them myself for $61, but you know you can talk them down. They start way up there, right? Because he's talking about 1,600,000 dong, which is $61. And you could probably talk him down to about 500,000 because we bought our daughter a backpack, a real nice backpack. Well, the lady said 1,500,000. Then she said, oh, because it's y'all first time coming, I'm going to give it to you for 1,200, right? And then I said, no, you crazy. And I was walking away. She said, well, how much will you give me? I said, I got my budget, 300,000. And she said, oh, 600,000, 500. I said, that's okay. Then she, okay, I'll give it to you for 300,000. I probably could have got it for less than that. Imagine this woman started out at 1.5 million. And I got it all the way down to 300,000. But yeah, they knock off stuff, man, you know. I just don't wear a lot of knockoff stuff. Now, this is knockoff, but it's so comfortable. Okay? Hey, Lawrence, thanks for that super chat, man. I appreciate it. Are you back over here? Are you the same Lawrence? He said, speaking of the 22 books, yeah. He said, tell her like it is, Cal. Well, I'm just going to speak my mind, man. I'm tired of these old brainwashed idiots coming on my channel, thinking I can't speak. You know, I got to agree and go along with everything that evil ass country does. This shit's evil now. I was telling Marilyn, I'll tell anybody how disappointed I was. Because I believed all that stuff growing up. And then you reach a point where you say all of it was lies. It's all lies. But then when you say it, people people want to, you should be grateful. Why? I work for all of that, man. America isn't giving me anything. They got you people thinking that. Our government, the politicians, have screwed us over, man. These lobbyists and, man, y'all just don't know, man. Y'all stupid. And when somebody tries to put you up on it, you push back. 94% of your senators are taking money from Israel, from AIPAC. So of course we're going to fight in Iraq based on information from them. In Afghanistan, all the countries that are surrounding Israel, you ain't got shit to do with it. If you want peace in the Middle East, tell America to leave. Because they're the only ones starting shit over there. Ain't never had no problems with Muslims. Christians are my damn problem. Yeah, this is what I said the other day. He said the same people that make the supposedly real Jordan make the knockoffs. I said this exact same thing. But you can't get it into our heads because, if it doesn't come from Nike, it's not real. It's coming out the same assembly line, fool. One is just going out the side door, and the other one's going to a Foot Locker. But the thing I like about Vietnam, and you hit on it right here, he says all the big shoe manufacturers are making shoes in Vietnam. They're a manufacturing country. They're manufacturing cars. They're manufacturing everything like we used to be. Okay? Clinton sold us out. He's on the other side. He's not on Trump's side. He's on the other side with that NAFTA. All the manufacturing gone. It used to be, you can look this up, and anybody can bear witness to this. I grew up on the west side of Louisville, Kentucky. Factories there. Reynolds, Philip Morris, Brown and Williamson. You didn't even have to leave the neighborhood to have a good enough job to buy a house, take your kids on vacation every year, send your kids through college. You live a middle-class lifestyle in those factories. All gone. But Trump fooled y'all and said, I'm going to bring all that back. It'll never come back. That's how it is over in Vietnam. Okay? They passed America up, man. We're not manufacturing nothing but idiots over there. That's all we're manufacturing is fools over there. He said Nike is made in Vietnam. It is the major hub for Nike. Major furniture stores in Vietnam. Vietnam makes a lot of stuff. This is what I just said. They make their own cars over there, electric cars. We're still making gasoline-powered cars, guys, in America. We're still on the Dewey Decimal System. Let that sink in. You ignorant fools. That's why when you come over here and go to different places and they're talking about kilograms and stuff like that, you don't know what to do. You stuck. Okay? But you be like, well, my house is 100 square meters. How many square foot is that? Fool, it's square meters over here. He said it's been said that some of these knockoffs are made in the same factories as the brand names. The companies make versions for the locals. It's the same. How? I promise you it is. One goes to a Foot Locker, the other goes out the side door. Because, they're poor over there. They make about the same average salaries in the Philippines, so why couldn't I get a real pair of Jordans and sell them for $60? He said, one thing I've had to avoid since being back in the U.S. is getting back to a negative mindset, complaining and getting upset over shit I can't control. Man, I was watching, this woman, I related to this woman so much that I subscribed to her. And she said the same thing. She was like, I didn't realize how angry and miserable I was in America till I had to go back. She lives in Vietnam, by the way, but she's lived in a bunch of countries. And she went back and she was like, damn, it's so heavy over here. Why is everybody so angry? she had been gone, right? She's been in Vietnam for 3 years now. She was so deep with it, man. She said exactly what you said. She said, was this me? This was who I was. I promise you, man, when we were in Vietnam, man, I felt as light as I've ever felt. I wasn't dealing with trolls. I wasn't dealing with any of that stuff. Okay? I wasn't even thinking about making videos or live streams. It's only when I deal with the people over there, Cisco, which you're trying to show them a new way of life, it's when I get all excited. You know, because when you deal with ignorance, man, it makes you upset. You're thinking this is 2026. I'm over there in Steven of Philippines in Full Effect. He's doing everything from his damn phone. I'm talking about everything. When we went to the subway, he was like, I don't have to do this stuff. We do it on the phone. We're way behind. Yeah, we've been taking trillions ever since. Imagine, he says, yeah, big bro, Johnson took billions out of Social Security for the Vietnamese War. They all been stealing from Social Security. But here's the thing. China hasn't went to war since 1979. Okay? All you American thumpers out there and with all that old rhetoric and stuff, we spent trillions of dollars on these old fucked up wars for what? We haven't gained anything. To what benefit? Can somebody tell me that? Them places are worse off than they were before we went in them. But y'all still ban this bullshit. You brainwashed. That money should go into the infrastructure, healthcare, education, all the stuff that we're falling behind. Okay? Thank you. But not if you're a slave. We're slaves over there. It's facts. He said, I've been 20 times since my tour. I love the country and the people. They moved on. I've had guys in my comments say, I won't go back to Vietnam because of the war. And people have moved on from that. They got their museum and they know their history. As a matter of fact, Achilles, which is probably one of the smartest guys I deal with, you know, since I started my channel, he was telling me, Cal, Vietnam views the American war, that's what they call it, as their fourth worst war. Worse than the French. I mean, not, you know, the French was worse. They consider the French worse. I believe the Japanese, I believe Chinese. You know, he said they look at them far worse than what happened in America. But they moved on. We can't move on. Hey, MJB and the P2B, thanks for that super chat. He said, I stay under the radar in the Philippines because I have a low tolerance level for certain other people. It's bullshit. Yeah, I boiled it down to jealousy. As far as sneakers, there's a market and culture behind it. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. When you see these Jordans, man, you ain't going to know the difference. You know, it's just in our mind and our ego. We'll think that it's beneath me to buy a pair of Nikes unless it's in a Nike store. Okay, it's only way, that's being narrow-minded. We think it can't be any other way for me to get a pair of Nikes other than going to Foot Locker or one of those places. We don't realize they're coming off the same assembly line. He said Vietnam ranks third in Southeast Asia for mobile internet speed behind Singapore and Malaysia. I did not have any Wi-Fi issues there. Let me tell you something. The only Wi-Fi issues I had was in that Airbnb. When you got data, man, your data's like that. All you got to do is look at my first live stream, Young Fresh Global Travel, over there. That was done on data. That was not done on, you know, like a provider. I'm just working off my phone. It was super clear, no problems. And my first Airbnb I was in. What's up, W Secrets to Success? He said the USA spend the most money on our military budget to keep America number one. Dollar number, number one trading currency in other countries at bay. Yeah. And we suffer from it. But not only do we put it in the budget, we actually go out and borrow money. Don't you realize how expensive this Iran thing is going to cost Americans? But y'all sitting there, cheering like it's a basketball game or something. Innocent men, women, and children and babies are getting slaughtered over there. For what? Trump don't even know why he's over there. And I'm just saying Trump because he's the president right now. He's an idiot. Anybody sitting in that Oval Office is an idiot. They're not running the show. Okay? Iran was no closer to having nuclear weapons than I was. Their own intelligence told him that. But we're not fighting that for America. We're fighting it for Israel. Their ballistic missiles can't reach America, but it can reach Israel. Man, come on, guys. Yeah, they got provinces, but I asked the woman, KT's girlfriend, well, his fiance, they're going to get married. She didn't know what it was. I guess they called it something else because she speaks good English. I said, do y'all have the province here? And she said, no. And I was like, do y'all have rural areas? And she said, oh, yeah. But it's a lot to see in Vietnam. Okay. That, I was only there 2 weeks. I'm just telling you that it was an amazing 2 weeks. It was eye-opening to me because I was believing all the crap too. I'm like, I don't want to go to Vietnam, man. Vietnam is communist. It's going to be soldiers everywhere with AK-47s. That's why I put that picture on my community page. And then you guys even push back against that. Claim I'm making fun of the military. No, I'm pushing back against the misinformation these bloggers are giving you about Vietnam. Talking about the people act differently. One of your favorite vloggers over here in the Philippines said, all the people's body language is different when the soldiers is around. You a damn lie because ain't no soldiers around. Ain't no soldiers around. I'm sorry. Ain't no damn soldiers around. If they are, they invisible. They're undercover. He said the U.S. military is still based on a Cold War mindset. That's why we're getting cooked by Iran right now. That's why Russia was getting cooked by Ukraine. The art of war has changed. And not only that, but Iran is defending themselves. Why put innocent people in harm's way because of some rhetoric? It's all rhetoric, guys. They're lying to you. And now the mainstream media has got all ramped up because they know their ratings are going to go up. They know people are going to turn to them now for misinformation. They feel important now. It's crazy, man. We live in a crazy country. Meanwhile, if more homeless keep going up, education, the infrastructure is crumbling. We treat our seniors, man, like criminals over there. Not realizing we stand on their shoulders, man. It's a class warfare going on over there. Crazy. He said, good morning, Cal. Just woke up and about to get my banh mi and coffee. You know what's not a knockoff? These stunners I'm about to see at the gym. Man, I love Vietnam. Well, they got knockoffs in the gym, believe it or not. Me and Merlin were seeing them every day. That's one video I could make if I was in the Ladyboys. Who's got the most beautiful Ladyboys, Vietnam or Thailand? It's a toss-up, probably. I'm going to tell you now. And the only way you know that they Ladyboys, they too perfect. That's what got me. I'm in the gym and I'm working across from this woman. I thought it was a woman, man. Built. Boom, boom, boom. Everything perfect. So I'm finished. I'm waiting for Merlin. I'm sitting up there. I'm on my phone. So I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to get this. I'm just going to get picture of this, and this woman's beautiful, but she was too perfect. So I asked Merle, I said, is this a woman or a ladyboy? She said, it's a ladyboy. They know him right away. It's like 4 or 5 of them in there like that. You would not know that they were ladyboys until they told you. And I thought to myself, man, you really got to be careful over here. Because ladyboys don't have butts like that. They taking injections and hormones and whatever it is. They look just like women. I'm sorry. And, my buddy, poor man, passport guy, if he goes to Vietnam, he's going to move from patio to Vietnam. He'll be in heaven. He said, how would Iran having a nuke benefit anyone? They are led by a theocracy that believes in not just eliminating Jews, but also other non-believers. Well, the only cult, there's another cult over there too, who believes that they're the chosen people and God promised them land and everything else. Who, matter of fact, have nuclear weapons, Damien, okay? And the only reason they don't want Iran to have them is because now they can bully Iran any way they want. So don't come on here with that stuff. I don't really want to talk about it because y'all don't want to hear the truth. They're not part, they won't even, Israel's the only country with nuclear weapons that won't even allow nuclear inspectors in there. Okay, put that in your pipe and smoke it. They've hidden their nuclear warfare for decades now, since the 60s. Yeah. But this is the bullshit they tell you. Because their whole audience is here. They can't talk about anything else. They have to keep y'all focused on the Philippines. Please stay here. Hey, Bobby. Honey, watch her. Put some pants on Booby. Because they can't talk about anything else. They can't tell you that Thailand is nice. They can't tell you that Vietnam is nice because they're thinking, oh, I'm going to lose my audience. So they'll tell you that Vietnam is bullshit. Man, they're crazy, guys. Go over there for yourself and tell me I'm lying. Okay? Go around there to Vietnam and tell me I'm lying that it's not going to be an eye-opener for you. When you get off that plane and you riding through those streets and you're like, is this Vietnam? And you see them women over there, okay, real, okay, Filipinos are Asians, okay, but those are real Asian women over there, okay? If you got yellow fever, you're going to go crazy when you get over there. Okay, I'm sorry. You really are. You talking about some stunners. They got stunners over there with everything. They ain't the typical up and down like you thinking. It's a whole new world over there. And it's so close to the Philippines. You can have it all, man. Let's get on that for a little bit. But he says anything for clicks and views. Yeah. But they're lying. I don't have to make up stuff. And I'm not going to make it up. I don't make up stuff, man. If you keep the focus on yourself, you never have to make up stuff. But whenever you coming up with these topics and these popular subjects, then you're going to be eventually talking about some bullshit. He said, how's the scam in Vietnam compared to the Philippines? Will it lose more money in Manila or Ho Chi Minh? Probably Ho Chi Minh because they're more sophisticated. And, you got to live there a long time to even know if you're being scammed. See, I didn't even realize until KT told me that, you got scammed on them shorts. Because I was only there for 2 weeks. I don't even know when I'm being scammed. But when the lady starts out at 1.5 million and he agrees to 300,000, you know you being scammed. Now, how much was the backpack for real? Was it 125,000? So yeah, they're more sophisticated with it over there. And this is coming from a guy who's been there for 6 years. He said, Calvin, it's not a matter of if you get scammed, it's a matter of when. They're going to scam you at every turn, he said. So, the best thing to do would be go to places where the prices are clearly marked. But they're going to get you. As Maryland, we did not go anywhere near a taxi. I was scared to death of a taxi over there. No way I'm going to get in there. I can't understand the language. No, you're not going to get me somewhere and charge me $1 million dong for going up the street. Now, somebody asked me about this, Young Fresh Global Travel. He says, my only complaint is that the heat hits on a whole different level. It's the kind of weather where you keep a cold water bottle and a small towel with you just to stay comfortable. Small trade-off. Yeah, but it's like that over here, but you're right. Even though the Philippines is closer to the equator than Vietnam, it is a different type of hot over there. It's more humid. That gave our servicemen problems. But you're right about that. It is a different. Even Maryland was complaining. Hey, Q, thanks for that super sticker. Yeah, even Maryland was complaining. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you about 5:30, about 5 o'clock or 5:30. Man, the weather's perfect. Okay. No, I understand, but when people talk about that, you do realize that Israel does have, this is the hypocrisy. And of course, America has nuclear weapons. We're the only country to use nuclear weapons on another human beings. Okay, now imagine that, but we're going around the globe telling other people not to have nuclear weapons, but we didn't tell North Korea. I believe with the technology that's over in Vietnam right now, it would not surprise me if Vietnam had nuclear weapons. But America knows who to bully and who not. Okay? But if you want peace in the Middle East, America's going to have to get out of there. That's the only way they're going to achieve peace over there. Is if America gets out of there, out of the affairs over there. Okay? Yeah, they ain't gonna mess with. They ain't gonna mess with these countries, man. We know who to mess with. He said, who got the best LB video, Unc? Who got the best LB video? Unc will do major numbers. You got a lot of DL dudes. Yeah. Oh, Ladyboy, yeah. Chopping at the bit like their life was in prison. Well, I tell you what, a lot of people, they want to keep that. Undercover, I don't think that's something that people are really interested in. They might be interested in seeing it, okay? But see, here's the thing, though, with you, man, what you don't understand. It's the last question we're going to talk about this. He said, honest question, Calvin, even if this war benefits Israel, how is Iran having nuke weather? It's now, years from now, be beneficial for anyone when they are led by a religious theocracy. Because it's hypocrisy. Why can Israel have nuclear weapons? This is rhetoric that you're listening to. All lies. Okay? The United States, look at how many conflicts the United States have been in your entire life. Okay? You're watching too much Fox News and all that stuff. They're lying to you. We're the war hawks, man. We're the warmongers. We're killing all these people around the world. For what? It doesn't benefit you? Our infrastructure is falling to pieces, man. You got people over there who can't even afford health care. But you're spending trillions of dollars on these damn wars. For what? What has it benefited you, Damien? Okay? I'm just saying, when you listen to this foolishness, you can tell that people don't read. They don't think for themselves. Iran doesn't have a problem with, we don't have a problem with Iran, I'm saying. Only that we're trying to do regime change. You don't realize that we used to be friends with Iran, do you? When we had the leader in place that we wanted, who, by the way, was a whole lot more dangerous and ornery and nasty and repressive than the theocracy you keep talking about. But history don't matter to you. You don't read. You look at Fox News and all that other foolishness. When we put the Shah of Iran in there, we were friends with Iran for 40 some odd years. Whatever it was. We were the best of buddies. And that's what we want to do now. Guess what, Damien? We want to put his son in charge over there. Man, y'all go on with that foolishness, man. He said, Cal, do you sunblock? I do. I've been sunburned at least twice in my life, and I'm dark skinned. Well, to be honest, I do. I put it on the top of my head, right here, and the base of my neck, whenever I go out walking. Because the sun over here does not discriminate. I don't care if you light, bright, purple, black. You're going to get sunburned in the Philippines. He said, I might bring my girl during July. We're going to Tokyo first. But people keep saying that about Tokyo and how nice it is. He said, I like the humidity and the heat. Here's one thing I like about Vietnam, though. They don't have change. They don't have metal coins over there. They got all bills. And they all have Ho Chi Minh on the bills. But you got to be careful because a lot of them look the same. Merlin never got it right. I had to control the money. And she giving people $200,000, for $10,000. They look the same. He said, I feel like I'm being scammed if they don't give me my correct change. I know why Filipinos count their money when they get change now. Well, me being over here in the Philippines so long, I know when I'm being scammed. And I know the scams that they pull, it's very petty. I don't even get upset about it. But when you go to a country you've never been to before, you don't know if you're being scammed and you don't know how bad you're being scammed. Over here, I know how much a taxi ride basically costs. So if I get in a taxi and he says, oh, whatever you want to give me, okay, or something like that, I know I'm being scammed. Or if I go to the market and they charge, $300, they charge Maryland $300 and they try to charge me $380 per kilo. I know, man, so I pay it anyway. I don't haggle over here. You got to haggle in Vietnam. Even if you've been there, he says he does it even to this day after being there for 6 years. But they don't have change. So you don't walk around with a pocket full of heavy-ass coins. No, it's not a myth. It's not a myth. This is another thing they're telling you because, I was even watching a video by Rike, and I like Rike. I'm just telling you that I disagree with him here and talking about how difficult dating is over there. Let me tell you a true story, man. I don't have to make shit up. The second Airbnb we were staying into, it had a spa on the first floor. We stayed on the 5th floor. Well, when I'd walk through there by myself, the women would smile at me. The women at the desk, they would give you that smile like they're interested, like they've never seen somebody like you before. And that sort of, I'm 62. I know just a regular smile and then a smile. Like John said, I know a hello from a hello. But when Merlin was with me, they wouldn't even look up from their desk. But Rike was saying how difficult it is. Yeah, because it's so easy over here. So anything that's not as easy over here, you're going to say it's difficult. But it's not. Man, I saw so many brothers, man, with Vietnamese women over there. Okay? KT, he's 43 and his wife is 23. He met her when she was 19. Yeah, 26 years. I'm sorry. Cisco, thank you for that. But I know we were the best of buddies. Iran was not a threat to us because we had the right leader in place, the puppet leader. That's what we've done. Look at Libya. Look at Syria. Look at Lebanon. We're trying to do that over there. But it doesn't really benefit America. And remember the oil reserves that Iran has. No, no, I'm sorry. This is some more rhetoric bullshit. It wasn't even called the Middle East until World War II. They didn't want to call it Northern Africa. But it's not true. This is some bullshit that goes around. We haven't been fighting. This is not the Israel and all that that's in that Bible that y'all be reading. The Palestinians been living over thousands of years in peace. If they were fighting amongst each other. We're human beings. Okay? But this is foolishness. Okay? This is all rhetoric. This is all lies right here, guys. Okay? The Israelites over there now is the same way America was. They went over there and they stole the land from the native people. Same as in Canada, same as in Australia. That's why those countries are so tight. Those are the three biggest supporters of Israel. And, of course, England, which was the colonists, the original colonial power. Okay? Those four support Israel more than anybody else. So, no, that's not true. The Israel you're talking about today was not the Israel way back then. And they wasn't fighting for the same reason. They came over there and they stole those people's land and killed all those people. And they still doing it to this day. So no, don't come on my channel with that misinformation. I won't tolerate it. He said, I like that 500 peso bill. Where? Oh yeah, over here, yeah. But over there, man, they got the 1,000, the 2,000, the 5,000, the 10,000, the 20,000, the 50,000, the 100, 200, and 500,000 dong. I didn't see a million peso. A million dong over there. Yeah, but they'll tell you that that's foolishness, man. He said, if you want like Ladyboys, go to the immigration office. There's some freaky guys coming to the Philippines. But I made a video a long time ago. The Philippines really doesn't have ladyboys. I guess you could call them that, but you're not going to mistake them for a woman like you would when you go to Vietnam and you go to Thailand. Man, I hope Eric Terry maybe still be on here right now. Okay, me and him, we went to Thailand together. We went to Bangkok together. We were in the mall. I want to think it's that Century Mall. Well, anyway, we're on the second level, and on the first level, they're having a beauty pageant. Well, from up top, you think it's just a beauty pageant. But we came down, we walked past, and he was like, I don't think these are women, Calvin. And I'm like, man, if they not, there's some beautiful ass ladyboys, right? Come to find out it was a ladyboy pageant. You could not tell the difference, guys. It was crazy to me. It's the first time I've ever seen, ladyboys up close like that. Yeah, them zeros mess you up over there. They really do. That's why I was telling Q, you really gotta get rid of the thousands, but also you have to pay attention to that comma. That's why I was trying to educate Marilyn. She never caught on. I said, you got to look at that comma. Yeah. This is crazy right here. He said, military staff are claiming their commanders are telling to them Trump is anointed by God. He's going to light the beacon for the rapture. The U.S. is on the verge of being a theocracy too. Well, when you talk about stuff like that, guys, they don't believe you. But this is the type of stuff they believe in. But remember, when you're talking about, these supposed to be Christians going out fighting everybody, killing all this stuff. They're enemies. They're trying to get along with the world. We're the only terrorists, us and Israel, right now. Okay, I don't care. It's just the facts. He said, I think it's lame that you can't fold the bills in the Philippines. I think it's that way in Canada. I could be wrong. Well, now they changed that. They was on some bullshit over here. And the locals pushed back. Where when they came out with that new bill, you couldn't you couldn't fold it. It was like bullshit. I mean, they knocked that down, MJB and the P2B, probably within a few days. I mean, it happened so fast, it blew my mind. Because I'm like, well, how you going to carry that money around? But yeah, they got rid of that now. He said, Vietnam sounds like India where foreigners get drastically overcharged. But it's not drastically. You know, it's just when you go into those places where you got to bargain. They'll tell you you have to bargain. We bought some coffee back as, as souvenirs for some of our friends. Well, the pack that he was trying to sell me, he started out at $200,000 for that one pack. You know what I ended up? I ended up buying 4 packs for $200,000, and he gave me 1 pack free, and he gave me the dripper for free. See, they're gonna try you. But now Vietnam, man, you need to go over there because Vietnam's on the. I've been to Thailand too. It's on the same level as Thailand, man. It's not much difference, guys. You know, in Thailand being the place to be, which it is. But Vietnam is the same way, man. I've been to Bangkok. I've been to Ho Chi Minh City. It's not much difference. And then the food, same thing. They're on the same level. They getting ready to pass up Thailand, not only with the economy, but tourists and everything. It's right there with Thailand right now. I was shocked. I didn't know. But no, we got to put some respect on Vietnam from now on. Okay, I'm sorry. And anybody tells you that Vietnam is bullshit, it's because they're used to how easy it is over here. They're looking for women. That's all they are. They're looking for. Okay? They're just looking for women. He said, Cal needs to keep your tour of SEC going. Come on to Malaysia. We are. We're going to see it all. I told y'all that. When I said I'm not going to spend full time in the Philippines anymore. I'm going to tell you about immigration. Okay. Let me read this first. Thanks for that super chat, Confident Voice Speaks. He said, what's up, Unc and the Sunshine Show's crew? I'm out here in Singapore trying to acclimate with my new job. Hey, congratulations too, man, on your new job. This guy's the real deal, guys. You got to meet him. He's come to several of my meet and greets. He's a young guy compared to me. 22 years in the Navy. This guy was he was a chief in the Navy. And when I go back in my Navy days, they didn't have chiefs this young. I mean, we had old, grizzled. I mean, even the Filipino chiefs were, old and grizzled. But yeah, you need to put some respect on Vietnam, man. Vietnam is no joke, guys. I'm telling you now. Hey, what's up, Joe? Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, Vietnam ain't no joke. You right about this. He says, that's what's scary to me, Cal. Whether it's Thailand or Vietnam, these ladyboys are getting better at the deceit. So if the straight man over there aren't careful, they could easily be fooled. It's true. You really got, see, the thing I respect over here in the Philippines, even though you're never going to respect the women over here. The ladyboys over here for being women, they will tell you. I don't think they'll tell you over there. I mean, it's crazy, man. When I saw that woman in there, because I was like, wow, she's fine, right? And I was like, that's a ladyboy. And then the more I looked at it, you see this, our elbow is a 90 degree. Let me show you. A woman has that bend in there. There's no surgery for that. If you want to know whether or not a woman is a woman or a lady boy. That's all. You don't have to look for all this. They got surgery for all that stuff now, right? You can't do anything for this. You'll see the arm folded, whatever, holding the purse or whatever. You see that 90 degree? That's a man. Yeah, I know you're not saying that, but you said the other day, you said they're trying to mimic Thailand. Man, I'm going to tell you something, man. Y'all need to go over there because Vietnam is on a whole other level. That walking street, man. And imagine, we were going to leave without ever seeing that. Now, Achilles told me, he sent me a link. He said, Cal, make sure you go see this. We had no idea. That's why I didn't have my camera. It was Merlin, me, Stephen, Bea, KT, and his girlfriend. I forgot her name. We went out to eat because KT said, I want to take you to this chicken place, the best chicken in Vietnam. The chicken was good. I like it more seasoned, though, for me. But anyway, after that, he said, I'm going to take you to Walking Street. I didn't know. And I was blown away when I saw that Walking Street. But no, Vietnam is up there. It's up there with Thailand. He said, so Cal, when you went to Vietnam, did your 3 years start over? Yeah, it does. And that's why I was saying I lost my train of thought. Immigration. So it's early in the morning. It's about 4 in the morning. I'm only one in line, really. There's no waiting. And I get there, and the lady swipes my, she's looking, and I'm like, oh, here we go again. Because she says, is this your first time coming to the Philippines? I'm like, no. There's something in that computer. And I was like, oh, well, here we go. So she calls the supervisor over, and the supervisor must have recognized me because she looked like one of the women who interrogated me before. And she pointed at some stuff and told the lady what to do, and then she stamped me and let me through. But guess what? They never asked me for my onward ticket. I was shocked. They didn't even ask me for an onward ticket when I got on the plane to come to Vietnam. To come back to the Philippines. When I was in Thailand, they asked me for that at the check-in counter before they would let me board the plane. The Philippines didn't ask me for my onward ticket, guys. I end up spending 3,000 pesos. I'm going to try to get my money back for my onward ticket to Hong Kong because I don't trust that system where you can buy that ticket for $25 or something like that. I'd rather, have a real ticket, but they never asked me for it. And Merle was waiting. She thought she knew, she knew something was wrong, but it wasn't what, I didn't have to get interrogated, but I thought I was. But there's something in there. I think that man fixed it, though, because, just when I thought they were going to interrogate me again, she said, hold on. She got up and went to her supervisor and brought her over, and they looked in there. And, she was pointing around some stuff and telling her some stuff. And then she stamped it and let me through. He said, Iran is not Iraq. Iran is the old Persian Empire. More than half the people there are Persian. He said, how did you guys get on the Ladyboy subject? No, somebody said something, but anyway, I was saying I don't know which Ladyboys look better in Vietnam because I didn't know Vietnam was known for that, but they are. But when you go on that walking street, there's more foreign women on the walking street because it's really like a tourist attraction than, freelancers and stuff. And remember, prostitution is illegal in Vietnam, just like it is in Thailand. But some guys just like, oh, this reminds me of Soy 6. No. Soy 6 can't touch that walking street. Now, does Patio have a good walking street? Yeah, but it can't fool with that one. Go back and watch that. Man, that thing, as far as you can see, it's all lit up. You got women outside dancing on tables. the clubs is packed. Outside is packed. The street is packed. It's like that every night. But this is a place you can take your woman. He said, where are you traveling next, Unc? He said, your popularity is gaining traction globally. It was even crazy to see a Sunshine Show's member in Vietnam. It was. It shocked me, but me and Marlon, we were at Mall of Asia, and it was I guess a Filipino. He lives in Canada now. He knew who I was. He came up to me, and then another guy messaged me. He said, hey, I saw you in Mall of Asia talking to a tall guy, which was who I was with. He said, I was going to say hi, but then I decided to keep it going. You know, YouTube has a large reach. But actually, the second Airbnb we stayed in, one of KT's subscribers recognized me. He was staying there. He said, yeah, I saw you the other day on KT's channel when he interviewed me. But yeah, you know, YouTube, a lot of people watch YouTube, certainly Southeast Asia, guys. You know, we don't need to be going back and forth, who's the best, man. It don't get any better than this over here. You know, certainly for your pocket, the way you're treated, because I saw somebody on here talking about, I think it was Young Fresh Global Travel. He said, I don't know why people say that it's not safe in Vietnam. Man, in Thailand, I felt safe. Doesn't mean I was safe. I felt safe. Philippines, obviously, and Vietnam. I mean, you just don't, the lady called it a soft life. And that's what you experience over here. You know, she said, I'm a woman and I walk around freely in Vietnam. She said, I don't let my guard down. She said, I'm conscious of my surroundings, but I don't fear being attacked or anything like that. Guys, that's one of the biggest benefits of being in Southeast Asia. No matter where you go in Southeast Asia, man, you just don't feel threatened. You know, you don't feel that impending doom that I felt when I went home in America. It's too much random crime over there. You liable to get hurt anywhere, at the store, at church, whatever it is. But over here, man, that's one of the biggest benefits of being in Southeast Asia. And anybody that lives over here can tell you, I'm not capping, man. You just don't feel that. I feel safe everywhere I go. I said that on my video, one of the videos I did in Vietnam. Where we lived, man, in District 1, man, you could sleep outside. Ain't nobody gonna bother you. He said, you better do some serious vetting. You better. You better grab him by the pussy. I'm going to grab him by the pussy before I kiss him. Because once you kiss him, that's it. Once you pull that trigger, you can't get the bullet back. You done already kissed a man, so you better do that first. Because I'm going to tell you, you can't tell them. They look just like women. No. Now, this is what I'm trying to tell you. He said, I'm going to be looking for some dentistry work. Thailand might be the best for implants. I was told Vietnam. You know, Stephen had some, remember he was going to Thailand. He had dental work, implants, I believe. Either implants or caps, either one. But anyway, he said, Cal, he said, when I went to Vietnam, and you'd see his teeth look so natural now. He said, I couldn't smile. I'm even thinking about going over there and getting my gap closed. Because he said the prices and everything, but he's not the only one. An actual dentist, friend of mine who came to the Philippines, he told me, he said, Cal, yeah, while you over there, go ahead and get your dental work. He said, because that's what Vietnam is known for. So you may want to look into Vietnam. I mean, he's an actual real dentist. I've met him before. He's been in my house. He's out in L.A. Oh, okay, yeah. He said the Omotic works. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure it does because they didn't even ask me for mine. I was shocked. Okay. Well, he says, I say the arms in their hands. If their ring finger is the second longest by a decent margin, that's most likely a man. That's probably the last things we're looking at, though. But you're right, because on first sight, we're men. We're not looking at that. We're looking here. We're looking at the waist. We're looking at the butt and the face. A lot of times the face may be bigger, but they got some tricks now. Oh, it's cheap. A friend of mine said he saw tickets cheap because he told me you can fly one way into Vietnam. I wasn't going to try that anyway, but he said you can see tickets for $50, but it's not that much. It's too close. It's 2 hours. It's about 2 hours from Manila to Ho Chi Minh City. I mean, it's just too close. You got people dating who live in Manila and who live in Ho Chi Minh City. I met a couple, but that's how close they live. The man works over here in Makati. It's a gay couple. I don't care. And the guy, because they both built. I mean, we met them at the gym. I mean, they cut. You would never suspect them, if you didn't know him better. But I know better. At the YMCA in Louisville, Kentucky, the guys who are the built-its and cut all up, they're gay because that's the way they attract. I guess that's the way they attract their mate. But they're some of the most in shape. But yeah, they got a relationship. He's like, ain't no sense in him moving over here. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't because I'd said, here we go again. Something's in there, but I was glad because I was tired, man. We had been up all day. I booked the wrong ticket. I'm thinking I'm gonna book it because I'm gonna tell you why I did it. The same reason I booked the early flight from Bacala to Manila. That Manila airport is so busy, man. I don't like doing those fly arounds. So I figured, well, if I book it late at night and arrives early in Manila, there won't be a fly around, which it wasn't. But hell, we were up all night. I mean, we were up all day, really, because from the time we got up, we went to the gym, ate, did our regular day, did some souvenir shopping, okay, washed our clothes the last time, went to the airport at 8:30. The plane took off at 12:30. We arrived in Manila, by the time we got our luggage and stuff, 4 o'clock. We had been up 24 hours. I was just glad. But when the lady said, is this your first time you've been? I said, here we go. But hell, she let me through, didn't even ask me for my own ticket or nothing. Okay, yeah, he said, when I played the tape back, the guy said you were the reason why he was there if you listened to his voice. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, I was humbled, man. It's humbling. Because I don't look at myself as that. You know, Joe, you done met me before, man. I don't look at this stuff like that. That's why I was telling Marilyn yesterday when we was going through our little thing. I said, I can't control how people look at me. Maybe the girl thought, oh, he's sunshine shoulders. I'm going to get him back or whatever. I don't know. But I'm just a regular guy, man. Hey, Q, thanks for the super chat. He said, I thought Vietnam women were shy. Hell, you practically had the camera all in their face. They didn't have any problem, unlike the Philippines. Well, that's a big difference. Q, as a vlogger, it's your paradise over there. They don't care. Man, I've got so much footage. I'm in the mall just walking around with it. I was just doing it just to do it because you can. I wasn't even trying to make a vlog. It was just so liberating. Over here, I'm afraid to pull out my camera. Anywhere. I mean, when you're on the plane, they tell you. This is one of the things they tell you when you're on Cebu Pacific, whether you're flying international or domestic. Please don't take videos or pictures of your fellow passengers or crew members without their permission. I'm like, well, damn. It's just how it is over here. I don't know. But over there, I had my phone, and it's obvious with a phone. The woman dancing on the table, hell, she's smiling at me. But in the mall, wherever you're on the street, they're not even looking at you. They realize they're the background. They're not the focus. Over here they think that, you're focusing on them. The story, people are going to see me hiding their face. Nobody's going to even know you. You're not that important. He said, it seems like every country has a no-go zones, including Vietnam, always register with STEP. Sir Calvin can explain how and why for STEP. Learn something today. Yeah, STEP is going to help you if there's an emergency. You want to let your country know you're over here or wherever you are anyway. Excuse me. A lot of people, they sneaking into these countries. It's like, what are you hiding for? If you've done something, they're not going to let you in the first place. When they run that passport, when they scan that, you can't escape, guys. They know where you are. Your license has it. Everything has it. Every time you swipe your credit card, use your debit card. They know where you are, so you might as well do the Smart Travelers program. That's what that is. So if there's information that you need to know, they'll email it to you. It's important to have, but yeah, you're right. Every place has a no-go zone. I'm pretty sure Vietnam does. But I know in the Philippines it does. And I was telling y'all before that we may wake up that sleeping giant. I told y'all that the first time when they supposedly obliterated. See, this is why you got to listen and think for yourself. Trump said out of his own mouth that we had obliterated Iran's nuclear capabilities that first time about 8 months ago, right? So then why you got to go in now to obliterate it again? Well, anyway, I said, guys, be careful. The United States tells you to stay out of Mindanao anyway, because you don't know the good guys from the bad guys down there. You really have to be careful. Okay, I think this time you're going to see trouble, man. We're soft, easy targets, guys. Okay? We're easy targets because you don't know the good guys from the bad guys. Just, have situational awareness, which is something Maryland does not have. Okay? At all. That's the only thing that was making me mad about her. She's all on her phone like, you're not at home, Maryland. You got to look around. You don't know, what's going on. Nope. Hey, Biker Boy, to you, thanks for that super sticker. He says, what about the people that talk smack about the Philippines while visiting a new country? That's so whack to me. I love Filipino people and still my favorite country in Southeast Asia. I don't know why they do that. They do it for content. It's no benefit to me. I had to give the guy in Manila a bad review on Airbnb, the first one I've ever done. And that's how I started out with. I was like, it does me no benefit to give you a negative review, but it may help somebody coming behind me. It was terrible, this guy. But anyway, the Philippines has been so good to me. I love it here. But I'm from the mindset I can have it all. I can go to Vietnam. I can go to Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Cambodia. But I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me. The Philippines have been, man, so good to us, man. And still are. You got to understand, while I was over in Vietnam, the big guy, I call him the big guy. He's a congressman. One of the richest men in the Philippines, really, and certainly on Negroes Out. He was messaging me. It makes me feel good, man. He says, hey, Cal, where are you? When I was showing I went live on Facebook on Walking Street. Maryland freaks out when he messages me. Because, over here it's a class society. And this guy's so important. He's like the president of the Philippines, really. And it blows them away that he follows my channel and he knows who I am. but we're the same age. We can relate to each other. But I would never, when you got that kind of relationship with the country and the people, why would I want to mess it up for a few views? All views aren't good views. But the Philippines have been good to me, man. I've got autographed shit up here from him. He said, look, if you ever have any problems, you show this to people. And I had to do it. And it opened like the Red Sea opened up. So no, you're never going to see me talk about the Philippines, man. He said, same with my wife, no awareness, just wandering carelessly. Man, if you look at my videos, man, even when we were with Stephen and Bea, they can bear witness. We're following them. Maryland's veering off on her own. The lady's like, lady, we live over here. Where you going? Maryland's just has a mind of her own. It's crazy, though. He said, Unc, you got motion like that, man. You really have solidified status. I was shocked. The first time he contacted me, Merlin thought it was a fake profile. But no, it's him. He's real humble, though, man. This guy's a philanthropist, man. He does a lot for this city, certainly. I believe he's the one that's going to bring that airport here, because we certainly need it. Man, look, that's why I envy guys who live in Cebu and Manila, and Bangkok and places like that, Ho Chi Minh City, because when you fly in, you're done. Shit, I live in San Carlos City. We flew into Manila, then we got to fly into Bacolod, then we got to take a 2.5-hour bus ride through the mountains to get to San Carlos City. It's brutal, man. Yeah, we're going to see all of that. But this guy here, he's real humble, man. You wouldn't know it. Honestly, you wouldn't. But yeah, it's humbling when, because I'm going to tell you, this is why, the haters, they don't understand that if I was really doing something wrong, man would have got rid of me a long time ago. He just shut me down. But he likes what I'm doing. He sees what I'm doing, the effect I have. Certainly on the locals here. It's not lost on him. It's not lost on a lot of people. He says, she's on the phone like she's in the Philippines ordering pizza. Yeah, man. Everywhere she goes, she can't. And I'm like, I'll be walking, then I look back when Merlin's way back there taking pictures and stuff. We thinking she's with us. Yeah, it's foolishness. It's all lies. When Israel has nuclear weapons. So why can't their neighbors have nuclear weapons? And Israel has been secretive. They won't allow inspectors in. They're not the non-proliferation agreement. They're not a part of that. Iran is. It's all hypocritical, guys. But it's the tail wagging the dog, man. They run America. All the presidents, Israel has them in the palm of their hand. They got something on them. He said that they knew they need investors. We need an airport here, man. Yeah, he said, I'm so glad I made the choice to live in Thailand. Yeah, you really can't go wrong, though. So if you want, I got a buddy, Anthony Williams. He's been to Vietnam. It's really a short hop, man, from Ho Chi Minh to Bangkok. See, you can't get stuck, though, guys, because that's what happened to me. I got stuck in the Philippines when right near me is all these extraordinary countries. It's okay to venture out because it's going to make you appreciate what your situation that you have. It's so good, man, to be back home and sleep in my own bed. But man, we had a phenomenal time there. Yeah, logistics, man. It can be a nightmare if you live outside one of the major cities. That's why the expat alley is so important. Angeles City, Metro Manila, Cebu, Davao, Dumaguete, Cagayan de Oro, Zamboanga, Butuan, General Santos, Davao. That's the expat alley. Well, what makes it expat alley? If it's got an airport, if it's got immigration, got the big malls, other expats. Okay, hospitals, major hospitals. That's what makes it an expat alley city. If it doesn't have those five, you can't consider it an expat alley. But every expat alley city has those things, man. And when you live outside these big cities here, yeah, it's crazy. But China, when you have the extra money and you're not spending it on these stupid wars, you can do that kind of stuff. They're building malls and stuff in Africa. But the mainstream media make you think they're doing something bad. They own a lot of our debt. Because, guys, they're not fighting these wars. These wars are expensive. And we're not getting anything back. It's not benefiting us. The people, I mean. They're having a big meeting now, right now. Well, it's over with now. He's been called these weapons manufacturers, to the White House to give them more business now because they're running out of munitions. Those are the ones who make money off of war. It's not going to benefit you. We could wipe Iran off the map and you're still not going to have health care in America. You're still not going to be able to afford it. Okay, you're still not going to be paid a living wage. The infrastructure is still going to be crumbling. But y'all don't speak out. If you talk about it, oh, yeah, he's anti-American. No, I'm not. I'm practicing my free speech. I can demand better. He said, Cal, when's a good time to go to your era? Really, anytime. But we have, in July, we have Charter Day. And in November, we have the Fiesta. I mean, they really do it up here. He said, tell him, Cal, it takes a lot to get from Manila to your front door. Yeah, every mode of transportation for real. It's crazy, man. I be mad at people who live in Manila. They get out of the airport and they're there. I rode, when I went to Bacala to Manila, a friend of mine was on the plane with us. Well, he was going there to visit friends. He's done. Hell, I still had to get on a plane and go to Ho Chi Minh City, then come back, then go to Bacala, then come here. He said, in 3 trips to the Philippines, we've taken 21 domestic flights and haven't had any problems on PAL. I never used Cebu Pacific. I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm happy with Cebu Pacific. One thing that the Philippines is taking a knock. I saw this in the paper, and they're talking to the Senate, they're talking to the tourism department, is the price of these domestic flights, guys. Listen, our round trip ticket from Bacala to Manila back to Bacala was the same as going from Manila to Ho Chi Minh City and back. No cap. They're saying that's causing problems with tourism over here. I don't understand it, man. But you still see these planes full of people. But I don't think they're giving, the prices are so high that the masses of people really can't afford them. A lot of times when you're flying with locals, a lot of times it's like their first time flying. Whenever we take the the 2GO's packed, and you see how big those boats are, they always ask me, why aren't you flying? Well, see, I don't think I'll take the 2GO again. It's not worth it, really. You know how much time it takes to go, I don't know what happened. They done changed it. To go from Manila to Bacala, it used to take 18 hours. We'll get the suite, and we'll just kick back, relax, and we'll be there. It's 37 hours now, because they stop in Iloilo and all that. Or else you can take, and believe it or not, guys, you think I'm playing, the tickets are the same. Or you can take the Cebu Pacific and be there in 45 minutes. Okay? He said, yeah, she's the true stereotypical Asian tourist with a camera. Man, listen, it'll make you mad because you're saying you're going to get run over. This isn't the Philippines. Because over there they won't stop. Okay? I'm just telling you. They have no situational awareness. He said, real question. Does blow the minds of your Kentucky fam how important you are in the Philippines? Well, they don't know. Because it's not like I tell them. They, in America, man, they probably, my family anyway, I don't even think they watch YouTube. They just aren't interested in traveling. Imagine I've got a guest house over there. All they got to do is come over here. They don't even have a passport, I don't believe. That's real talk. That's why, man, we're a community, guys. We got a whole lot in common. More than differences. We always focus on the differences. Man, the people watching this, we got a lot in common. My family, man, they're not even thinking about traveling. All they're worrying about is working, paying the bills. That's it. And basketball and football and all that stuff. He said, can you speak on the logistics of how near Thailand, Vietnam, and Philippines are from each other? Very close. Remember, okay, if I fly from the Philippines, from Manila to Thailand, it's really like, they'll tell you it's 3 hours and a half. It's not that far, guys. I guess that's gate to gate. It's really like, I'm going to give it, I'm going to say 2 hours and 45 minutes. Okay, 3 hours at the most. But if I fly from Manila to Ho Chi Minh, it's 2 hours. Then from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam to Bangkok, they tell you it's an hour and 25 minutes. It's not that far. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. So anybody wants to argue, if you've never been to all the places, man, you need to keep quiet about what's better and this and that. I would go see them all. Even Phnom Penh, they're saying, is on a whole other level now in Cambodia. Yeah, you can catch the bus from Ho Chi Minh City. A friend of mine did it. It's 7 hours, but he was on one of them lay down buses. Go to sleep and wake up, and you're there. I mean, Southeast Asia, man, is a place to be for me as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to lie. Okay? I mean, it's easy on your pocket. Nobody bothers you over here. I mean, if you want women, they're all over the place. You can eat clean. They give you a certain level of respect because you're from the West. I really don't see any. I don't see any negatives for real. Only one. It's just so far away. That would be my only negative. I didn't. I didn't see Gio interviewing that Kenyan woman. It came across, but is that his girlfriend or something? I don't know. Yeah, no, trillions of dollars. Okay, that we spending on these wars. Y'all got to understand, they're not funded. They got you thinking, we need to cut Social Security. No, Social Security's being funded. These wars, we got to borrow that money. That's coming off your back. And you're getting nothing back. Yeah, but they don't want to listen to this A-Han-G, because we're too narrow-minded over there. We keep blaming it on each other, not realizing we're all in this together. It doesn't matter if the Democrats is in office or the Republicans. We're still Americans. We split the country. We really got two sides fighting each other over there. How ignorant is that? Man, it's stupid, man. We need more togetherness. We're divided over there. And that's something you can't push back on. The rich against the poor, black against white, Republican, Democrat, it's all the same. Everything you look at, we always got an enemy on the other side. I'm for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm for the Washington Commanders. I'm sorry, I said Redskins. You know. But he said, yeah. And to think we entered the new millennium with a surplus and now we're swimming in trillions of debt. Because, look, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, now Iran. But nobody cares because they buy this up. Oh, yeah, we're going to make America great again. And it's not America first, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know, these countries, man, they're smart, man. They're not spending money on these wars. We're not getting anything back, guys. All these trillions of dollars. How's it benefited you? And we're losing some of our best and brightest young men and women. It's just so sad, man. It's just so sad. But if you talk about, oh, you're anti-American, you're unpatriotic. No, I'm not. He said Japan's the same way. Costs more to fly within country rather than international. I don't get it. Certainly for the Philippines, they're fighting for, tourism dollars. But hell, it costs more. I never even thought about it because I don't fly that much. But when I saw they had a news conference. They're saying, hey, we got to do something about these skyrocketing domestic prices, man. You know, it's expensive to fly in the Philippines, man, for being over here in Southeast Asia. It really does. He said, remember when your daughter said, have a happy Thanksgiving, not knowing the Philippines doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving? Yeah, see? Shows you that some Americans haven't been outside the country. And they discourage you from traveling. That's why they give you all that rhetoric. They think that, oh, you're already in the greatest country in the world. Why go anywhere else? And when we do go someplace, Q, we don't go that far. Mexico, Jamaica, U.S. Virgin Islands. We go to, where else did he go? You know, that everybody talks of. The DR. You don't go that far. Man, guys, when you come way out here, you're doing something. I'm telling you. Your life will never be the same when you go back home. I don't care what your experience is. You're either going to love your country more when you get home, or it's going to open your eyes and be like, oh, there's more to the world than what I've been told. But you're never going to be the same when you come this far. You know, because they got you thinking that that's the best that the world has to offer, man. It's going to blow you away, man, when you go to a place like Vietnam. And you're going to be like, man, they just as modern as the United States. I'm saying that. That's not cap, guys. Yeah, the language barrier, that can work in your favor too. Okay, certainly in Vietnam. He says, I wouldn't say it's a negative, but the language barrier is always there. Same in Thailand, okay? It's not like in the Philippines where they can understand you, but you can't understand them. You're at a grave disadvantage here. You don't know the language. But it's like, it's like there, they can't understand you either in Vietnam or Thailand, really, the majority of people. So it's like you're on an even level. But over here, Filipinos, they can understand what you're saying. You can't understand them. And me and Achilles, we think a lot alike. He said, I don't care. He said, because it's not like I'm trying to hold a deep and meaningful conversation with the locals. I just want to be left alone. And that's how I am. And they will certainly leave you alone. They don't bother you over there, just like they don't bother you in the Philippines. That's what I like about being over here. The lady said it. It's not just me. I've had that feeling like, man, why am I lighter over here? why am I less stressed and why do I feel so much happier here than I do at home? Because people leave you alone. They don't bother you. He said, Geo. I think Geo's waiting on um his visa, I believe. But from what I hear, you know, where is he? Nigeria? No, he's not in Nigeria, is he? Where is he? I think he's the same place that um the young guy is. What's his name? Austin Holloman. Yeah, he said, why do these female foreigners all want to move to the States? I just divorced my Dominican wife because she's going to the States. Well, it's easy. We were just talking about that. Me and a friend were chatting back and forth because, he claims his wife doesn't like it in America. But, I said, I'm just telling you from a Filipino's perspective because a lot of times there's nothing here for them. And they know in America, if nothing else, there's work for you. And that's what they want. We don't really get to know the mindset of these women. We don't want to know. We don't understand that 100 out of 100 of them, if they had the chance to move to America, they would. A lot of them, we don't give them a chance. We tell them, I'm not going over there. Or, I'm not going to get you the visa. We don't understand what they go through, man. Some of the women we're dealing with in these countries, certainly the DR, certainly the Philippines and places like that, they're dealing with the PTSD that comes from stifling poverty, abject poverty, that you can't understand. You don't know all her stories. You don't know the reason why she really wants to leave. She's too embarrassed to tell you. But it affects you. Okay? And that's why. At one time, we were the only ones who could afford cell phones and Lamborghinis and all this stuff. The world is catching up to us fast. The middle class in China has just exploded. Middle class in India has just exploded. So many middle class in China, their middle class is more than the whole population of the United States. So that's why things is getting tough for us over there. He said, that's what keeps it so special. I'm glad it's far. Yeah. But you'll never be the same. Once you come this far, I'm glad I came. It's so good that you don't even want to go back home. You don't even think to go back home. I don't even get homesick anymore. I miss my kids and my grandkids, but I don't get homesick in a way that makes me, depressed and I want to blow my brains out. I get on the next plane going back home because I found an alternative lifestyle, man, that I'm comfortable with. That lady called it a soft life. That's what it is, man. I'm a fan of the video. I'm going to put in one of my links. It's a powerful video. She don't even got that many views. She's so real. And she talked about why she left America and, because she was successful. I think the video is, I had it all and I still left. That's what caught my attention. I'm like, well, what is she talking about? That's kind of like where I'm coming from. And it's a powerful video, man. She's very articulate. And she talks about the soft life that she has over here. He says America's declining just like all empires. It's really sad. It is, man. And you can't see it when you're there because they keep you distracted. Okay? That's what it is. That's what it's for. They keep you distracted. That's why they got the basketball, football, baseball, and everything going on. But yeah, guys, I get off of here. Hey, what's up, Paul? My buddy Paul. He said, hey, Cal, I saw your videos on Vietnam and now interested in visiting. as much as Thailand, where I plan on going for my birthday in July. Glad you had fun and met some cool people. Yeah, you owe it to yourself, Paul, to go. It's closer than Thailand, and you'll think you're in Thailand. They got everything Thailand's got. And hell, it's just a hop, skip, and jump from Thailand. Thailand and Vietnam is closer than the Philippines is to Vietnam or to Thailand. Thank me now. But thank y'all for your super chat, super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shows. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Kenya. Yeah, I don't know why I said Nigeria. Why did I say Nigeria, man? My man is bad. Thanks, man. Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. And you can have it all, guys. I don't argue with people when they talk about, oh, Thailand is better than the Philippines. If you travel enough, some country's going to grab a hold of you. Okay? And, I guess if you stay stuck in one place, you don't have that problem of having to make a decision, because if I could turn the clock back, which I can, obviously, and I don't live hypothetically, and I would have went to Vietnam sooner than the 7 years that it took, I'd be going like this. If you think, see, people don't even put Vietnam in there. It's always the Thailand versus the Philippines. Guys, y'all missing Vietnam. It's there, man. Vietnam is up there with Thailand. Okay, tell me I'm lying. That's why people are moving there. That's why when Thailand is getting strict with the 90-day visa and all that, they don't care. They're like, okay, I'm going to Vietnam. I can live here at least 10 years before they come up with some bullshit. Because they're not coming up with any bullshit, guys. They don't have all those other visas. And even if they did, okay, do 3 months there, move to Thailand for 3 months, the Philippines, and then come back around, they're not going to deny you at the border. Because no way they can say you're trying to retire here on a short term, on a tourist visa. But you got people who are interested in that, and they make a big deal out of it. I don't care. That's why it's important that when you in a place for a long time, it's nobody's business what visa you're on. Because they're liable to call in on you, I mean. The shit that Americans do. So take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time.